welcome to LegalEdge LLB YouTube channel. And
Hello,
uh,
ma'am.
and I think this has become like a standard drill for me now. But let's just start over with like heartiest congratulations. And even though I know that all my students do not really have an answer to this question, but for the sake of it, how does it feel?
Ma'am, it feels like like there was actually a baggage standing behind when you don't clear CLAT or AILET back in time, but still you get a chance. So I was looking for my chance to get into any of the NLUs. So I was looking for the options, and then anyhow I landed up in a NLU. So it feels like I'm a bit relieved. A checklist has been completed now.
Yes, I understand. And plus, I think uh, all students going to CNLU, great, one of the most premier institutes, one of the top law colleges, and under great leadership. I think we had this discussion
Mhm.
under great
The
leadership.
Faizan was the
Yes, under great leadership. So yeah, I think uh, a great college, a lot of exposure, a lot of learning that way. And I think you just started out with it. I think I always remind somebody, all students that I speak to, and they highlight that back back when they could not clear CLAT, AILET, it just
yeah.
reminds me of like apna time aayega situation. So yeah, let's just start off with like walk us through the journey from CLAT and AILET to finally CNLU. How did it pan out for you?
Oh, actually, I started like I gave my CLAT in 2022. Okay. So like preparation wise, I was more inclined towards GK, and that was my biggest blunder in life. That instead of focusing all the other three sections, I relied completely upon GK. And like GK is very dicey.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
agreed.
yeah,
It's
it's
anything
like
and everything under the sun, so you're never really certain.
yeah, yeah, like those things which were quite certain. I didn't focus much on those things. Like say for suppose the vocabulary and the idiom and phrases and most of all I didn't focus much on English. I'll be very honest with you. So like the reading comprehension sections, like it actually requires a lot of rigorous practice of doing those mocks and the practice of doing the GK, even the legal, the logic and the English, like they both like on a parallel thing. But I focused more or relied upon GK. So that was like back to the CLAD thing. But now like this paper, like CNLU, this was completely different. Like say for suppose it has started like last year, people were given like a 10 days or 13 days gap
Yes.
to prepare for it. So like after reviewing the previous year question paper, I saw that those questions are actually from UPSC level sort of thing. Sorry for the
No,
disruption,
that's
man.
fine. That's fine.
So the last year question paper will basically focus upon the UPSC level general awareness. The sorry, ma'am. It's happening again.
So it's okay. I get it. It's a connectivity issue.
No, actually, I'm getting a call. Let me just
Oh,
put it on do not disturb. Yeah.
okay.
So like last year question paper was a very difficult level in terms of general knowledge because like the questions were framed in terms of you need to pick out like the statements we need to like correct
One
out
pairs,
of it.
two pairs. Like one is
Yes, two
correct,
pairs,
another is
three
correct.
pairs, one is correct, another one is not. And then the level of difficulty and the in-depth analysis, it was basically focused upon the not it was not very much in terms of like current affairs, it was mostly static from the UPSC level question.
Yes.
So I was very like I I was a bit scared, like how am I going to pull this off? Like there was no way, like I was thinking ki I should focus more upon English logic because this is how I'm going to work this time. I'm not going to rely upon GK this time because what happened in CLAT, I don't want to repeat the same mistake. So I just used to go through the static and the current affairs videos. I never used to make any notes. I just used to go through it. And if there's something important, I just used to note one word for it. So say for suppose there was a question, uh, like the Bihar partition from Bengal, and it actually came like in the morning when the GK session was actually like uploaded on the YouTube from the legal ed section,
Yes.
3 year law program. So there was this question, like particular topic which was there. So it actually like tallied. So I secured 1 marks because of it. So I was very sure, okay, 1 marks has been secured. And this time the GK was not very much difficult. It was very
Yeah,
easy.
I agree. It was slightly easier than last year, but of course, so I say when I say
No, ma'am.
slightly,
I would like to like disagree with, like, it was not slightly, it was very easy.
but let me complete. So that's what I was about to come to. That I say
Yeah.
slightly easier. That's primarily because see, anyone who has put in the effort will find it easy. Because of course there are a lot of
Mm.
questions like roughly 45% current affairs, then
Yeah.
there were and a lot of polity and governance. So
Yeah, there was a lot of
bills
quality and
and
governance.
statutes. But anybody who has
Yeah.
not solved mocks or read consistently throughout the year, or say like has watched YT videos, both static and current, would still find it difficult because the questions,
Yeah.
the specificity of the questions, these
Yeah.
were not extremely direct questions, but they actually
Uh,
tested the depth of your reading. So you found it extremely easy because you'd
say
been
for
consistently
say for
putting
suppose
the
there was
effort.
a question from the SAARC nations. How many countries are there in terms, like, it actually, you just cannot just pick one option out of it. You just need to know, okay, there's this 6 countries, 7 countries which are there. You need to pick this out.
So this time it was direct questions, but however,
Yeah.
still you've not been reading consistently and you've not solved mocks, you would have struggled with it. And
Yeah.
because the questions were extremely peculiar in nature. So I remember I can recollect one of the questions from the paper, which was I think around the strength of the Supreme Court. So
Supreme Court. It was like,
the
yeah.
options given, if you're not actually read it, you're most likely to say like mark
Hmm.
think of 38, but it's actually say like
And
33 plus
37, 30.
yeah,
Yeah. It
37.
it excludes CGI.
Yeah, it's exclude
And it
CGI.
actually happened like 3 days back to the
Yeah,
paper.
exactly. So and it's difficult to the extent that the GK was as recent as say like the first week of May. There were questions
Yeah.
about elections, Vijay's party, etc. So a couple of
Yeah.
questions that I can recollect since I solved the paper. So
Yeah.
let's not set like an unreasonable standard for students who are preparing for CNLU 2027.
Yeah.
The paper was definitely on the easier side as
Easier
compared
side.
to
Yeah.
2025.
Last one.
Yes,
Hmm.
but again, rewarded only students who'd been consistently putting in the effort with like a lot of reading, consistent reading, solving mocks, and of course, doing a lot of revision that way. Which
Yes,
brings
ma'am.
me to like, how did you structure your preparation across the three sections?
So, like, ma'am, what I used to do is like I'll start like how I actually started my preparation. I was preparing for MHCT basically. My main like
Yes.
target was MHCT. So I was preparing for it. I even joined LegalEdge mock series only for MHCT as well. So I was preparing for it, and then like while preparing, I got to know that on like in the month of April or something, CNLU registration form is also going to come up. So I filled the form, and like the basic thing which I made, like while like except mocks, what I used to do is like I used to put all those questions from the previous year question paper to any of the Gemini or ChatGPT or something, and I used to frame new questions out of it. So it actually helped a lot in the logic part.
Yes, I mean, it's just you increase the frequency of the questions. So
Uh,
something, I
like,
mean, as a student, you should have the thorough analysis and then just use
yeah,
like a lot of AI to
uh,
increase your practice that way, frequency of practice
yeah.
that way.
And then I used to like every night I used to give one mock, because in total there were like 15 mocks given to me. So I didn't want to waste it without studying. So after MSCT, there was a month gap to prepare for CNLUT. So like in the last 20 days, I joined the test series because I knew that there are like only 15 days left now. So it's better that if I were to take the mock series before, like I'm not suggesting for other people to do the same thing. It's actually about how I prepared. So I'm saying I joined the mock test series like 15 days, 20 days back to the exam so that I could give one mock a day. So that is how I prepared for it. And I used to like, I never used to score very good in mock. If you can just go through my, if you
I
could
know.
just go
So
through.
see the difficulty level of mocks is slightly
Hmm.
always higher than what the real paper
Yeah.
would
Yes,
be
ma'am.
because
100%.
we intend to prepare you for like the anything from like the spectrum is from best to worst. So the
Yes.
difficulty level would always be slightly higher. So the mocks they don't just test you, they train you. So essentially
Yeah.
it's 20% mock and 80% analysis. So learn a lot from
100%.
analysis so that you've committed all mistakes possible before the examination. You've exhausted that quota. There's nothing left
Yes, ma'am.
on the day of the examination for you to commit, basically.
Yes. So
Uh,
like the legal edge mocks were like quite difficult. You know, like it used to test our patience ki how I'm going to solve this, how I'm going to solve this. I'm not studying well. Like where's the gap coming between the legal, like not legal in particular, but the English comprehension section. It was like very difficult. It's not that the paper was vague or that mock was vague. It's like it was testing how much like thorough you are with the paper.
yes,
If you're
exactly.
not there, then you cannot score. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that feedback. And so I think one very interesting thing that you've highlighted is the timeline or
Yeah.
one should start preparing, when one should start preparing. And I think that's a very objective assessment. I remember having the discussion with you that you have leveraged a lot of your CLAT preparation also, so you were anyways
Yeah.
comfortable with reading and everything. And I think you're
Yes,
currently
ma'am.
in DU,
Yeah, I'm a
pursuing
student of DU.
yes, pursuing your undergrad. So I think all students should leverage their background a lot, know their strengths and
Yeah.
weaknesses in entirety, and the
Yeah.
assessment should be basis that as to when should you start preparing. Something that I
Mm.
suggest that all students who are preparing alongside final year, like a year is good enough time because a lot of pressure is off your shoulder. Otherwise, you're constantly struggling between how to manage two things.
Like for the 3-year program, there are not like right now there are a lot of options we have. So I actually chose one NLSAT so that could start the preparation. So I started preparation for NLSAT. Okay. So like back like 6 to 8 months back, I used to like prepare, like I used to go through the GK section, newspapers. I used to read like articles and all. So so this 8 months I covered from the preparation of NLSAT. And in the last few weeks or so, or a month, I gave my entire time towards CNLU.
Yes. I mean, the paper pattern differs, but the sections are largely the same. And plus, there is
Yeah,
an overlap. So you can essentially leverage your preparation for one examination. And I think all students should have a bucket of examinations that they're targeting
yeah.
because these
I'm,
exams become
one more,
extremely targeted, competitive.
one more thing. Like, so like there were like 4 videos from LegalEdge on the YouTube, okay, to cover all the sections from CNLU. So the logic, the both the critical and the analytical, both section, like they were like, I think the question was like matching. Like there was this question which says कि you were standing towards sun, and then there you are like seeing to the right of your side. So in which direction you are. So this actually like sir actually taught us. This question was in the section while solving all those questions from the paper. And then also there was this question from logical reasoning which says product. So product may what is the highest alphabet which is present in there. So this question was also there. Like last year it was not there in the sample paper, but this year, like before like 2 3 days back, this session happens on the YouTube, and this question was there in the like the question bank which sir have taken that day. So that was also very
I will
quite
definitely
superficial.
communicate this because I think the faculty puts in a lot of effort to ensure that whatever sessions that they're taking, they are extremely useful for all students who are attending the session. And as you highlighted this, that a question was not there last year. Something that
Hmm.
I've also observed that even though CNLU does not explicitly says legal reasoning, but there was like one application-based question in 25. I
Yeah,
precisely remember, I
yeah.
think it was question 117. So again, for all students who are attending,
Ma'am, it was 19 and 20. 119 and 20. The
maybe
legal based question.
119 and 20. So I'm talking
Yeah.
about 2025.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry,
yeah,
ma'am.
I was talking about 2025, 117. So one application based question. So for all students, like it's a big key takeaway that your preparation needs to be holistic. So while you can always
Yeah.
conclusively say that, listen, this would be possibilities of this being in the paper are like really high. You cannot never eliminate the possibility of something not being there. So do like
Yeah.
a complete holistic preparation. I think
100%.
very interesting conversation with Ranch. Which brings me to the
Thank you, ma'am.
last question. Um, Suggestions for anybody who's looking forward to preparing for either. So you've done MHCT as well. And I
uh,
literally have my fingers crossed for the MHCT results as well. But we'll talk
um,
once, uh, I mean, the percentiles and everything are out. So I hopefully will do another interview. But
I'm sure.
yes,
I hope
touch
so
wood,
too.
touch wood.
That's what.
But
Yeah.
suggestions for students would be appearing for who are thinking of or would be appearing for CNLU next year.
I would say like prepare. Like there is no particular resources which is there for CNLUAT. There is no coaching as per se. Like for suppose like how there's NLSAT, like how you guys have started it from past 2 years now. There is no particular CNLUAT thing resources for the study material. The study material is there,
So
like
we
in
prepare
terms of
students
it.
extensively for CNLU as well, like a
Yeah.
dedicated course for CNLU as well.
Oh, I didn't know that because I was very late to join that
Yes.
course. That is why I took the mock test series. So now that you guys have like, it's the best thing to join one particular like test series as well as like some institute or something, so that you could just have a grasp of what is there inside. It's not that they're going to like tell you you have to study this and this is going to come. At least you should have a knowledge of how the paper is. You need to analyze the previous year mocks and the question papers. Like now that you guys will be having two more, like 2025 and 2026 sample paper questions. So like there is no need to like think the question paper is going to change or something like that. But also you need to think, put these things in your mind, that like how CLAT used to change paper, or how they used to increase the difficulty and decrease the difficulty. So you need to put this thing in your mind and then prepare for it. And also to, it's very important to join a mock test series, otherwise it's very difficult, because
Okay.
otherwise you'll not be knowing what's your worth.
Exactly. I mean, it takes a lot of practice to be honest. And again, 20% mock and 80% analysis. So a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
practice, and I think consistent practice gets rewarded. So a lot of
Yeah.
practice and analysis.
And
Thank you,
also, ma'am,
Rudransh.
about about GK, it's like you need to like, there is no need to go through the magazines or anything. Just go through the newspapers and refer to one GK legal magazine or current affair magazine, just one, not
Stick to your
like
resources.
holistically divide. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
stick to your research. It was a fun
yeah, ma'am.
conversation, Rudransh. Thank you
Thank you,
so much
ma'am.
for your time. I am also equally, the MHCT results are awaited, and of course, we made it to CNLU, so you'll have a
Thank you,
blast
ma'am.
at CNLU. Looking forward to say, like seeing your pictures from CNLU. All the best, and thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time.
ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.